Hi everyone, Penny once again, and today I am privileged and honored to be speaking to someone who's also a Canfield trainer, but not based in the Philippines. She's based outside the Philippines. Annalyn. See,
Mhm.
Annalyn, I met her when she came over to the Philippines for a visit. She reached out to me, and the rest is history. We became friends na. So, Annalyn,
Mm.
can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Annalyn. So dito ako nakatira ngayon sa London. I've been here, living here for 13 years na. So, gaya nga na sinabi ni Ma'am Penny, I met her through a community, a Canfield group. And I'm so blessed to have her in my life, even though over the last couple of years, we've never been in touch constantly, but I think our heart is connected in ways because of the things that she does and the thing that I do here. At the moment, I currently work in a health and social care, which is a public health community, not in the hospital. And I used to manage care homes for people with learning disabilities, and then I transitioned from being the care home manager to training and development manager within our company. And at the same time, I'm a mom. She's 2 years old, and yeah, and I devote my passion and the learnings that I've learned in terms of reaching out and helping other people in the community as well. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Oo, at saka si Annalyn nag-guest na yan sa school ko, 'di ba? Sa klase ko. Oo,
Yes, yes,
I can't forget that.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah. I have some, yung iba pong mga estudyante nakakonect pa rin sa akin sa Facebook. It's a very
Mm.
good platform to maintain
Okay.
connection.
Ah, sabi mo nga you are now in training and development, pero when you went to London, what were you doing there first initially?
Well, I mean, just before I went to London, I was a nurse in Makati Medical Center. The story was in 2007, during those time, I've always wanted to leave the country, just just to provide for my family. Um, and at the time, the first opportunity, actually, I have so many opportunity. I was applying for the US, Middle East, and the UK and Ireland. And the opportunity that knocks with me is in the UK,
Mhm.
where I make a really big decision because when they recruited me back from the Philippines, I have to, leave away my role as a nurse, but I have to work as a carer for
Mm.
people with learning disabilities. And I said, why not? I mean, I'm sure I could actually, once I get there, it could open up opportunity. And I said I could always go back to nursing. But then when I came here in London specifically, I fell in love with the nature of my job because I work and support people with learning disability in the community, in their own home.
Mm.
So part of my daily roles are, to support them on their day-to-day life. And one of the major highlight of that role is I get to travel with them. Like
Wow.
I've been to Disneyland Paris with my client. I've been to Italy with them, in different parts of the UK. And then just because I'm ambitious, I always set goals. So I said, okay, after being a carer, I wanted to move up. So I applied for some managerial position. It was never easy because I think even though they're saying that there's equality here in England, you would always experience that, the color of your skin, the country where you come from. So, I applied in so many roles as a deputy manager, and it took me some time to get there. So I appreciate that when I was there. And then, I think I'm naturally good at leadership. So, it's been great experience. I've been learning so much. And then one day, the two units that I manage, I experienced so much loss within the residents that I have. Sadly, all those 4 residents that I support with complex needs die one at the same time, like, in within a span of 1.5 years. And I myself, as a care worker, suffered from that, that loss, losing my
Yeah.
team
Oo.
and losing the relationship I had with the family. But I carry that experience with me. So I have to move on to another company so that, I no longer, because, I experience that level of, anxiety in a way that every time I have clients who would fall ill,
Mm.
I afraid that I'm gonna lose them. So in order for me to cope that, is to move away in that environment,
Mm-mm.
carry with me whatever I've
Yeah.
learned from that experience. So yeah, so the company where I'm in right now has allowed me to manage another unit, but then I didn't stay long. I mean, I remember all those teaching Canfield taught us, like, you know like if you want something, you just have to say, and chances are they say no or yes. So I
Mm-hmm.
was brave to tell my director and the owner of the company that I said, I really would like to move on now to another role. I'm passionate in public speaking. I love teaching. So I thought maybe if I teach, care workers and managers, I'm still going to be in care, because if
Mm-mm.
I transform them into a better care worker and manager, then that means that the quality of care that the clients receive, or the patients receive, is still there. So I even have that massive impact, even more impact, rather than,
Mm-hmm.
providing that care. So yeah.
So you moved to learning and development.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
And then
Mm-hmm.
with that, it comes with freedom as well, because I no longer have to be on call 24 hours when you manage
Mm-mm.
home. 2 years, 3 years ago when we met, I started my journey in personal development.
Mm-mm.
Although last 3 years ago, before I had my daughter, it is always gonna be my goal to actually shift from my 9 to 5 job, but it never happened because of that level of certainty that I need, to
Mm-mm.
family. But I never give up. I still keep going and always move forward, whatever circumstances I have.
Mm-hmm.
Would
So
still be there. I just have to revisit the timeline.
oh, sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Always have goals and
Mm-hmm.
always ask as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
Annalyn, with what's happening, I heard in the news that your prime minister is
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19
Yes.
positive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
what's the environment now? And Downing Street mga ba? Number 10
Yes,
Downing Street.
yes.
It's just in the center of London, di ba? So
Yeah.
ano na
I think
what's happening there in London right now?
so. At the moment, yes. Just this week, he announced that he tested positive, along with the the leader of the in the health and social care sector. And I for me for people in England, you see, you would experience some people who would still criticize the government, isn't
Mm-hmm.
it? Even though they promised billions, they release money for people to support, the
Yeah.
community. And not only it is a health crisis, it's an economical crisis,
Mm-hmm.
considering that there are, businesses that closed down, there are self-employed who lost their job. But I mean, every time I watch the news and I receive, notices from the Public Health England, I can't, I always felt really grateful to be living here in this country,
Mm-hmm.
because among other countries in the world, they were the one who would promise the community, or the people. So for example, in terms of their economic, situation, like they promised to give 80% of their income that they
Mm-hmm.
lost, even like if you're self-employed and you lost your job because of this. So for example, people who comes to their home to provide, home service or training, just like us, the government would provide them with, the 80% of the salary that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
For the health industry, they have been supporting the nurses, the NHS, but it's like, there's a tsunami in the national
Yeah.
health service
Mm-hmm.
at the moment. And regardless of how much they provide them with the support, and I think in terms of the delivery, the logistic on how they would reach out certain location to receive that support could be a challenge as well. So for example, if the government bought loads of testing kits and gloves and personal protective equipment, chances are you would still receive feedback from the nurses that they still don't have PPE, or
Mm-mm.
they are fearful of spreading the virus because they're not protecting themselves properly. But as day goes by, I think, it's improving. But yes, I think as a general whole, as a word, the challenge could be, the crisis could be a challenging time for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's scary kasi kami dito sa Luzon. You know this because your relatives are in Luzon as well. We're complete hindi naman complete. Enhanced community quarantine is what they call it. And for us who are seniors, we were just talking about this before the recording. For us who are seniors, we're not allowed to leave the house. Pero kanina lumabas ako sa gate ko.
Yes.
Ay, ang sarap ng hangin. Ang sarap ng hangin. So I had to, and people are scared. People are scared because of the virus, and they're scared because they might lose their jobs.
True. And I think it's when, like last week, when Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, announced that we need to stay away from, if you don't need to travel, you don't have to travel. So what happened after that announcement is, so they reduced the public transport. What happened the weekend, because it's sunny, and in Britain, in the UK, it's always dark and rainy. So mga tao po, they never really like maybe felt the severity of that announcement. And what happened is marami pong nakita sa mga park na nandun ng mga tao. Yung tube po in the morning of shortly after the announcement was packed with people, and thus even more the spread of the virus. So kaya po after that spike po uli yung rate ng COVID. So ang nangyari po, nag-announce na nga po ang Prime Minister na, complete lockdown, and meron na rin pong enforcement. So meron yung mga soldier at saka yung mga police po, they would watch out and give enforcement do sa mga taong hindi nakikinig. And with the news po, ang maganda pong nakikita dun is majority of the recovered patients share their experience. And so siguro it would always, somehow it would give impact to the people who may have that level of awareness. But there's so many things going on with people's mind po and behavior. Kasi just like what you said, like if I am relying on my day-to-day job to feed my family, then would you think of like staying or and not being able to go to the job if I don't have food to feed sa family? So siguro nandun po yung fear, because I remember 3 weeks ago I was having this just allergic rhinitis cold, but I don't know whether it's because there are minor
you imagine na
if you have a minor symptoms, you would have anyway. So I work anyway. So meron pong ganun. So kaya may fear din. So
nakakatakot pag sinisipon at inuubo ka, di ba?
Yes. Opo, totoo yun.
Pag sinisipon, umuubo, uminom ka na ng gamot.
Yes.
Parang unahan mo na siya eh. Pero ikaw, you're working from home. How has it impacted the way you work and your company?
Definitely, because I have Chloe with me, and she's 2 and November, December, January. 2 years and 5 months na po siya. She's toddler, she's curious, and she's hyperactive. So I have to constantly meet her needs. So there's 2 elements in terms of my productivity sa work. Kasi yung po, ang lucky naman po kasi ako, kasi yung work ko, walang masyadong deadline. Kumbaga, resource po ako. So I can, and also having heard and being reassured by my line manager, yung operation manager po kasi namin, she's a mom of 3. So we were actually like supporting each other, and she was telling me, oh, my brain is fried now because I have to like homeschool my 3 children at the same time work as an operation manager. And every time we talk, like over the phone, she would, joke, she will joke to me, sasabihin niya, o saan mo tinabi si Chloe? And then, less than a minute, sisigaw na si Chloe kasi every time nasa phone ako, hinihingi niya yung attention ko. So, I've been so lucky with with the company that I work with. I nearly, leave them, but then just because I'm so afraid to ask what I like, because I was so stressed last year. But then it took me, the experience of, struggling from traveling 3 hours commute.
Wow, 3 oras.
because we do have one nursing home that we need to improve. So 3 hours, tapos I have, so literally 16 hours all day. Plus I have,
Mm-mm.
and Chloe was very young then, so there's the sleepless nights.
Mm-mm.
So not suffered, but I persevere for nearly a year until I said, okay, it's either I would leave the company or you'd give me the freedom that I need in order for me to take my work-life balance. And it was in October and November when my manager and the director of the company has granted, the
Mhm.
approval that I can work flexibly in home. And that to me was a blessing
So
for me.
hindi ka naman naninibago do'n sa work from home?
No, it's because not necessarily because I've been working from home since November po. So there isn't much change. Ang change lang po is when I work from home, Chloe would still be sa childminder namin.
Mm.
Nag-aalaga ng bata kasi hindi po talaga ako makapag-focus. Kaya lang ngayon, hindi na ko na po pinaalagaan si Chloe kasi naka-lockdown nga po lahat kami. So ako
Mm.
nag-aalaga sa kanya. Merong element ng yung worry na you can't deliver yung task mo, pero nilet go ko po yung worry na yon considering that my higher management would know and would appreciate actually yung output na binibigay ko over the past few
Mhm.
months. So yung
Mhm.
commitment ko sa trabaho. So it's okay to, lose that productivity once in a while. So for example, today, kahit I have, no, actually not today, but tomorrow I have scheduled maybe good 2-3 hours of, dedicated time to catch up with my work. So
Mm.
I can
Mm.
I can be in control of my time.
You manage your time well.
Yes, yes.
Mm. Kahit na nandiyan yung
Pero
anak mo.
ang pinaka-challenge ko po ngayon, yung worry ko is obviously pag kasama ko po yung anak ko is kung tumagal pa ito, Ma'am Penny, is she would constantly see me on my laptop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously when she's pag ako'y nasa laptop, so minsan wala siyang choice kundi maglaro or meron siyang tablet or may TV. So yung screen time po niya hindi ko na-reduce.
Mm.
So, unti-unti ko pong chine-change yung pattern as habang nag-a-adapt ako kasi minsan katulad kahapon nung sinabi niyang nagli-listen ako sa needs niya. So sige, let's go out for a walk. Then pag comeback niya medyo settled na siya. Kasi pag yung edad po niya hindi agad siya hindi na mahaba yung nap niya. Dapat
Mm.
during the day
Mm.
constantly occupied siya.
Oo.
So, sa
Malaki na
totoo
kasi.
parang
Mm.
ilang 30% lang ang output ko yesterday sa trabaho. So, pero yun nga, sabi ko nga, ika-catch up ko na lang sa weekend pag nandito yung husband ko. Para alam niya na nandito ako sa office, hindi ako pwedeng ma-disturb. So, meron
Mm.
doon develop boundaries rather than nakikita niya ako nagtatrabaho kasi hindi ko siya pinapansin. So, ganun po yung challenge, yung working
Oh.
from
Mm.
home.
Hindi 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 rin many of us here, 'di ba, long commute din dito. Alam mo naman na sobrang
Yes,
traffic sa
traffic.
Maynila, ano?
Mhm.
Many of us wanted to work from home. Ngayon na everyone's working from home, they complain naman, they work too
Oo.
much.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, that's true. Kasi yun din po yung gusto ko rin i-share dun sa mga nag-work from home. It's about, like yun, sometimes hindi mo nasa-set yung boundaries mo kung
Mm.
bahay ka. Tapos, majority of the challenge is pag wala kang sinet, gaya, alam nyo na po yun, yung pag hindi ka nag-set ng schedule, then chances are you're gonna be working constantly.
Yeah.
And then you would constantly pick up your phone and then there's element of work-life balance din po.
Mm.
So it took me a while. It took me a while to adjust to that, and it took the support of my line manager during the conversation that we have. And one thing that I remember she said is, you don't have to worry about what I would think because you're not going to be in control. I can think that at this time you were cooking your breakfast or you're taking Chloe out for a walk, but it doesn't matter as long as we agreed on our goals, we agreed on, and then and there's this honesty and transparency between the relationship I have with my line manager. So for example, I would email them, look, Chloe is with me, the childminder got sick, so sinasabi ko po sa kanila na please bear with me kasi hindi ako makakapagsagot sa email constantly po this time. So there's the element po yung honesty din.
Honesty and transparency with your manager. Oops, touching my face.
Mm.
Working from
Yeah.
home. Everyone's so conscious. Where's my sanitizer? Where's my alcohol? Mga ganun na ngayon eh. Oh. So, sanay ka na, pero ibang klase ngayon, as you said, because wala yung nagbabantay sa anak mo. At saka, ikaw na, because you don't need, and she's also locked down. So,
yes, true.
So there's no need for her to be with you because you're there.
Yes, true.
So that's exciting for you to be with your daughter.
Yes, true. So and again, for me, yung complain, walang space sa akin ng complain. I have nothing but gratitude sa circumstances ko, because if I come to think about yung families na nawala ng trabaho, it might, before this crisis, majority of the self-employed company or businesses lost so many, money, resources, and I'm just so blessed na kahit papaano nandiyan pa rin yung trabaho ko to provide for the needs of my family at the moment. So it makes a lot of difference to actually to be in a place of gratitude and not complain or not think about whatever you don't have.
Exactly. Yun, maganda yung sinabi mo about being in a place of gratitude, because gratitude, as we know, changes everything, no? So how can you, for the people who have perhaps lost their jobs or don't know how to work from home and are struggling from work from home, how do you think they can find gratitude in their current situation?
Yes, I think it's actually it's practice, and you could start from like waking up in the morning and think about just 3 things that you are grateful for in your life. I mean, when you see people who's suffering from COVID who can't even breathe because their lungs are not functioning well, think about how grateful you are that you're still breathing. When you do that deep breathing exercise, although I never had a chance because by the time I wake up, Chloe was awake. But then, that feeling of gratitude. And for someone who lost their job and would worry about how they'll be able to provide, think about people who would be able to extend their help. The local governments, I can see from the news that the local governments are helping other people. So reach out. There's Facebook. There is, Facebook is so powerful tool. If you feel that, ask for help, shout, because this time when you reach out to somebody and you ask for help, chances are they'll be able to help you. And for someone who have been working from home, I think it even starts from having that trusting relationship with your company and being transparent with whatever the goal is. It's always good to have that clarity of the expectations between your line manager and yourself. And when you work from home, you have to schedule, like depending on your lifestyle. So, for example, if you think that you are working, just like me, I have little one. What I normally do is I would wake up early, like 2 hours before she wakes, be productive enough. That 2 hours, the first 2 hours in the morning, or even 45 minutes is so powerful, and you would not you would be surprised of how much yung productivity yung makikita mo kapag nakapag-schedule ka ng ganun.
So, so gratitude begins with, sabi mo nga yung reach out to other people and be grateful that you're alive. That, kasi many people are getting sick. And yung for home working from home naman, dapat may schedule ka. Hirap nun.
Oo. Totoo po. Yeah, it's challenging. Pero yung para po bang mag-block po kayo ng time, let's say, okay, somehow, like when you're in a home, may mga, obviously may mga nangyayari na hindi mo napoprotect o
Mm-mm.
distraction. Pero I'm sure that during the day, there will be some time where you could actually, okay, you can commit for that time alone. And I think, I think, and one thing po pala, yung parang, you need to actually look at, I think for me, yung sa news po, di ba, maraming nangyayari. You could worry about the spike of the COVID, yung cases and the deaths could be really devastating. Pero pag nakita mo po yung China, in December 2019 already have recovered and have 0 cases. Meron lang po 54 cases ngayon. So there is a hope. There's
There's
hope.
hope. Oo.
There's hope. So if China's been there, may mga development na rin po sa science, meron na rin silang na-discover na gamot or yung mga testing kits. So that, whatever the circumstances you have right now would be temporary.
Mm-mm.
Think this is the opportunity na, especially if you're working from home, if you lost your job, focus on, developing yourself even more. Don't, I mean, I'm sometimes I was a bit, not, I don't spend so much time like watching Netflix or different series, because I've watched one of the, sometimes it occupied so much of my time. So as much as possible, I don't watch so much, because then it take away that, that time from
Yeah.
you.
Mm-mm.
So, and reach out, yung marami kang kaibigan na who could support you, and use the technology, just like what we are doing, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because this conversation alone just boost my energy.
Mm-mm. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And parang yung level of yung inspiration and yung motivation, parang it makes my week. This is the highlight of my week.
Oh, thank you. Ako nga ang dapat magpasalamat sa iyo kasi umuo ka eh. Kahit even with the time zone, with the time difference, and I know it's a weekend for you as well. So time for the family. So ang gaganda ng mga sinabi mo, yung the kindness and reaching out, and you mentioned kanina that you don't watch the news very
A lot.
often.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And I think it's, if I do, I filter the bad out, and I
Mm-mm.
always see the good in things, because there are times when my husband would watch the news in the Philippines, and sometimes it trigger me. Sometimes
Mm-mm.
you know but then I become an observant na rin po, na parang, okay, they're experiencing it. People have different model of their words, so they would have different reaction to the situation, and some may react very badly, some may react in a mature level. So I just have to let go of that and not stress myself too much.
I know exactly what you're saying. So because we have the same, I think we have the same, because of Jack, because of our
Mm,
training. Yeah,
mm,
and your mentor as well. You're
mm.
able to filter that out. So that's very,
Yes.
very important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Annalyn, any further advice or anything that you'd like to share with our watchers today? People who are
Well,
watching today.
yes. First of all, I am grateful that I'm here. I'm in the position to actually, share my experience with you. This crisis is temporary. I know it's challenging, but you always have to have faith. But with faith comes along with action.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one thing that I could live with, with you, is to have a grateful heart. And it could take so much, it could make your life, it could create a massive difference into your life when you see the good and when you see the things that you are grateful for.
So always be grateful.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, so with this, I'm grateful to you for saying yes. It
Thank
didn't
you.
take so long and you
Oh,
said yes kagad. So, salamat sa conversation na to, and I'm
yes.
sure the people in the Philippines would like to also to know kamusta na ang mga kababayan natin kagaya mo na nasa
Oh,
ibang bansa, dyan nakatira sa ibang bansa. Because
mhm.
this virus is not affecting just the Philippines, it's
Yes,
affecting
yes,
the
it's so
world.
worldwide.
It's a global pandemic. It's affecting the world. And we
Mhm.
just have to be looking forward and have faith, because
Yeah.
this too shall pass.
Yeah, and use this time to heal. Like heal your
Yes.
relationship, heal your body, like
Yes.
as much as you can. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. It's like, you know, when I work, sometimes I choose bad food, and now because I am free and I'm, less stressed in a way, in spite of all this, I learned to be in contact with my mind and my body and listen to my body more. Exercise if I could. Yeah, have some fresh air, mom.
I, I,
They
I need the fresh air. Oh,
true.
sige. I know it's the start of your day,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's
it is.
the almost end of my day, and I have to
Yes.
prepare the meal for
Oh, the dinner.
in dinner. Maghahanda lang ako. Asawa ko nagluluto eh.
That's good. Yeah, pareho po tayo.
Hindi ako marunong magluto eh. So, so ako tagahanda at saka ako tagahugas
Oo.
ng plato. So, yun ang
Yeah.
role ko. So, once again, thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to be with you today. And you
Ah,
always take care.
kayo din po. Kayo din po.
Stay safe, stay home, as they
Yes.
say.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.